She's risen to become one of the most famous people on the planet, but has the Duchess of Sussex now got her sights set on a role that would bring her more fame and indeed power than any other?
Well, last year, a friend of the Duchess told Vanity Fair magazine that one of the reasons she did not give up her American citizenship when she married into the royal family was to allow her to keep open the option of entering Washington politics.
And last week, rumours were rife at Westminster that she was planning to run for president, a scenario the author of a yet-to-be-written biography of Meghan says is now more than likely.
Well, she's certainly no stranger to talking politics.
Right, the 5 words that would strike fear into any public figure are Tom Bower's writing about you. He joins us this morning. You have a history of writing books that really do go into all the crevices of people's lives. Good morning to you. And you're about to launch yourself at Meghan Markle in a literary sense. We're also joined by screenwriter Amna Saleem, who actually thinks that the Duchess would make an inspirational president because she is sensitive to people's needs. Tom, let's speak to you first. I mean, everybody who has read any of your previous books is waiting for what you produce. Have you started yet? It's a 12-month sort of expedition, isn't it, into Meghan's world?
Oh, very much, yeah. This is all underway.
That's all you're going to say about it for now, I guess, because it'll be serialised at some point. What is your view on her dipping her toe into politics slowly but surely, and whether this idea of her ultimate ambition to run for president is a realistic ambition for her?
Well, I think that she is clearly someone who's very interested in politics, and I do think that she would like to influence the world. So I think that she is well placed with friendships with President Obama and ex-President Clinton, so that she'd be well placed to actually get onto the Democratic ticket in California. There are 53 representatives there, most of them Democrats, and she could run for one of them. So I think she's got the right basis for it because she's ambitious and she has a lot to say. I think her problems are, first of all, her insensitivity or her sensitivity to criticism and other things. But in the end, I think what she's managed to do with the Oprah Winfrey interview, which trashed the royal family but gave her a global profile. She's now known across the world at the expense of the royal family. And that is the first step to a political career. And she's done that very successfully.
You say she's sensitive, but then Donald Trump was the most sensitive.
Exactly, that's my point.
But as in, you say that the sensitivity to criticism is a problem, when in fact, actually, we've already had a president who was extremely sensitive and brittle about any kind of criticism. So it kind of, that isn't necessarily a barrier to being president.
True, but he overcame it, and she will have to overcome it too. She'll have to build a team. She'll have to get policies on China or trade or immigration or the economy and all the rest of it. But she's able to do that. She's got money. She's got presence. She's in the right place to do it in California. And I think that she's a woman who's very much looking for a role in the world, and not just endorsing cafe lattes, but also changing the world. So she's well placed now with the Oprah Winfrey interview. And all she's got to do, really, in the end, is distance herself from the royal family even more, drop probably the title of Duchess. It doesn't sit well, probably, with American voters.
No, and Amna, what do you make of this then? Tom is pointing out there, you know, she's got the money, she's got the profile, she's got the ambition, she's got the friends in all the right places. There's a lot of things that do add up, aren't there, about her potentially running for presidency?
Even before she made it into the royal family, she was already a humanitarian, so I think her head's always been a bit switched on. Sorry, my head's a little bit spinning from Donald Trump overcame his sensitivity, because I have yet to see any evidence of that. And it is amazing to me how we continue to call women overly sensitive for things such as being a woman, for racism, yet when we talk about men, they overcome these criticisms. It's quite amazing to me that we're still using that kind of narrative here.
But it's fair to say, isn't it, though, she's sensitive to criticism from the press, isn't she? She's sensitive to sort of any negative coverage of her.
Well, if we're going to talk about negative coverage, it's more that what I don't understand, especially by the British press and things I've had to deal with myself, is that why are we in a position where accept, where racism is something that we have to accept as part of the deal. Why is it that Meghan is not being commended for standing up for herself, for saying this isn't acceptable? If anything, it seems that people continue to want her to swallow this. I don't think at any point she should stop being sensitive to racism or misogyny, because how will that make her an effective leader? It will make her a more effective leader because she understands exactly why those are so detrimental, and also why more women find it hard to get into politics in the first place. We look at Hillary Clinton just as an example. I may not be a huge fan, but Donald Trump wasn't exactly a worthy competitor, yet here we are.
Tom, it's interesting. Do you believe that Meg? I mean, have you got a sense of her popularity in America with the bounce off the Oprah Winfrey interview? And what kind of groups of demographics is she extremely popular with? Because, of course, there was a poll done here, and it showed, obviously, that people in the older age range were not huge fans of her, but those between 18 and 24 actually were quite pro-Meghan. What do you gauge about where her popularity lies in America, if that's what her aim is, to get into the Oval Office?
Well, clearly she's very popular with young people, and she's clearly popular with the ethnic groups in America, and she's popular with those who are anti-British royalty and this whole hierarchy that the monarchy represents. Her challenge will be to fashion policies and promote herself as a proper, serious politician, as opposed to just somebody who campaigns against racism. I mean, that is something which goes without saying. There's a lot more to do, but I do think she has got the idea of building a team. She's got people around her who I think are clearly ambitious to promote her profile. Her problem will be to create the policies and then to go out on the stump. All this criticism of women and their sensitivity, there's Margaret Thatcher, we've had Theresa May, we've had loads of Angela Merkel, we've got loads of women politicians now. There's nothing special anymore about a woman politician. The special thing is whether they can actually hack it. And that is the challenge. And I think that so far, Meghan has shown that her interview with Oprah Winfrey, she was quite prepared to craft a picture which favoured herself against many of the truths which we would imagine would stand in her way, but it didn't matter to her. And that, I think, is the first qualification for a politician. That's what Trump did. He invented his own truth and bulldozed it through. And that's what Meghan clearly did with Oprah Winfrey. And I think that's what she's going to do in American politics now.
Will your book be uncomfortable reading for her?
Well, the truth is always uncomfortable, whether it's for Meghan or for Gordon Brown, Tony Blair, Boris Johnson, Simon Cowell, Bernie Ecclestone, all the people I've written about. They don't like the truth. That's exactly what I like writing about. Unauthorized biographies give you that license. But it is always going to be the truth. And the truth is about people who seek to influence our lives, which is always my criteria for writing, is that there are people who in the end have to come to terms with the fact of the things they've done wrong and a few things they've done right, and get on with it. And I just hope she'll be able to join that illustrious group of people I've written about and get on with it.
OK, Tom, well, we look forward to seeing what's in the book, and also we look forward to finding out then whether Meghan will one day run for president. Who knows? Tom Bower there and Amna Saleem, thanks both very much for joining us this morning.